Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we'll look at how we can update some data in a particular record in the database. So what I'll do is I'll start off with the user controller only, and for update, we need to change this post mapping annotation to put mapping. Okay, and instead of create, we will change the endpoint to update so that it understands that it's the update endpoint. Obviously, with put method, it anyway would know that we are trying to update some data. Okay, and let's also change the name of the function here. Create user. Okay, update would little bit be different to create, and it would require some changes at our end. Let me let's go ahead and do those changes, and it would be a little bit more complex, I would say. Obviously, update user function is not there in the service function. Let's go ahead and create that. State user, and it expects an object of type user only, which is fine. Now, what happens here is that we need to um, basically, generally, we would need to know if that particular user exists, and if it exists, then we need to change the data to the new data. Okay, so for that, we are going to use a function from the repository interface, get user by email. We can try to get an existing user by ID as well. In this case, we are using a get user by email function, and what we are going to do is do this and check for this condition. So if get user by email function doesn't give us a null, that means user with that email exists, and we can go ahead and change all the data for that user. So we are assuming that email is the unique key for that table. Okay, that is, no record with the same email would exist two times. Okay, so there won't be any duplicate record with the same email. Okay, and this may or may not be true to your use case. So if that is not the case, then you try to get user by whatever is the unique key or unique field for that table. Generally, it is email in the case of user, or ID also. So if this is not null, that means we are okay to update the data for the user. So what we are going to do is we need to set the new data for each of the fields. Okay. User dot get, obviously email remains the same. Get name needs to get set uh, to the existing user. Okay. So we are going to do is get the user object also in the database currently. User, I will call it user found, the name of the object which is found in the database, just to avoid confusion with the user object coming in from the request. Okay, so user found is what is currently existing. So, and user is the one coming from the request. So user dot get name has to be set with user found set name. Okay, okay, done. Similarly for other fields which can be updated. So name is the one, then let's consider password also in this our scenario. Okay, and email remains the same. Okay, because email is the unique key, which means it can't be duplicated. So no point in setting the email. Okay. Next, what we need to do is we use the same save function only, and instead of user, we have to change this to user found. So we have set the new values for the user found object. That same object needs to be saved with the save function. Okay. And if this happens, then we return user updated successfully. And if user is not found, then we return another string, user not found. Okay. Let me see if this is fine. Yes, it looks fine. There is no compilation error. Even this looks fine. So we have changed first the annotation to put mapping, updated the endpoint as well, updated the name of the function, calling the update user function in the service class, and then we first check if that user exists. If it exists, then we change or set the data with the new values and call the save function to actually store the data into that record. Okay, let me now stop and rerun the application, and then we'll try to see if this particular endpoint is working or not. Okay. In the meantime, let's create the postman um, details as well instead of create the update. So what I did is I just put a duplicate of that uh, entry, and instead of create user, we can call this as update user. Okay. Other things mostly would remain the same. Okay. Save this so that you can use this same request and the other details in the future. Always remember to save your API format or the API details in Postman so that you can use them in the future as well, and no need to create uh, these things again. Okay, so we are all set. Let me change. So when we created the user, we sent the name as Romit Bhandari. Now we will just update it to Romit V, and let's change the password to password. Okay. Hopefully the Tomcat would have started. It has started on the same port. Let's go ahead and call this API. Let's see. Yes, so we have got a response user updated successfully. Let's also change in the data. Let's also check in the database on the same table. So yes, the same entry got changed uh, with the different password and different name. Okay, so update is also working. Um, this is what I wanted to cover in this particular video. Hope it was informative. In the next video, we'll quickly look at the delete operation. So until next time, thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.